Hello YouTube, welcome to another one of my Duel Links videos, and today I have for you a Mach Synchron deck. This card is from the I can't remember if we got all 3 copies out of the bingo event or if we had one prior to that. But either way, it's a new card. We just recently got it and I wanted to try it out. I also wanted to try this card that is from, I believe it's from the structure deck. Yeah, it's from the structure deck, Iron Call. It says, if you control a machine type monster, target one level 4 or lower machine type monster in your graveyard, special summon that target, its effects are negated, destroy it during the end phase. So it's really cool. You get to use the monster for 1 turn, and it's perfect for a synchro deck. So that's how this idea came together. The rest of the deck, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take advantage of Mach Synchron's effect, which says if this card is in your graveyard because it was sent there this turn as synchro material, you can target one other monster in your graveyard that was used as material for synchro summon added to your hand. So I'm trying to get resources at the end of my turn, or replenish my resources, I should say, after I synchro summon. So for starters, we have Gen X Neutron, which is going to let me search a tuner machine monster. During the end phase, it was normal summon. So if I start with Neutron, I get to get a Mach Synchron. The next turn, if I synchro summon using both of them, I'm gonna get my Gen X Neutron back with Mach Synchron, and then I can search another tuner. If I don't have Gen X Neutron, I can use B Buster Drake, and it's kind of the same thing. If I synchro summon using Mach Synchron, I'm gonna get a Buster Drake from my hand, and then I'm gonna get the Buster Drake from the graveyard that I used to synchro summon with. So you get to have a lot of resources in hand, and so the rest of the cards are cards that usually hurt you as far as card advantage, so like Offerings to the Doom, Divine Wrath. But because of those effects of Mach Synchron and the searchers in the deck, we're gonna mitigate that and keep the advantage over our opponent. At least that's what I'm trying to do. I do have 3 Mach Synchron, but I only ran 2 because at 10 monsters, the deck was bricking a little bit. I don't know why. It seems like every time I do a 10-10 split, it always bricks me with all monsters or all spells. And I get better hands when I do a 9 to 11 ratio. So we have 1 Karakuri Strategist. And I have this guy so I can go into a Shogun. That's the only reason why he's in here. There's another level 3 tuner, but I like the fact that this can switch a position on summon. So 3 Offerings to the Doom for outs to big stuff like Ancient Gears. Iron Call, again, you can do a lot of combos with this. If you synchro summon 1 turn using any 2 cards, this 2 cards for example, you're gonna get a Buster Drake at the end of the turn, and then the next turn you can Iron Call, bring this guy back, summon this guy back, and do it all over again. The Mach Synchron effect happens in the graveyard, so it doesn't matter that the effect gets negated on the field. And I think Iron Call is a really cool card. I'm going to keep using it with some different stuff. Only 1 Canadia, but you can run 3 if you don't want to run the 2 Void Trap Holes. I went with Void Trap Holes because I was getting destroyed by Ancient Gears. Other than Offerings, I didn't have an out to, or I don't have an out to Ancient Gears, and I can't get over them with any of the monsters that I have. So that's why I added the 2 Void Trap Holes. But at one point I was running 3 Canadias, and it works really well. So this is up to you, if you're depending on what you're seeing. I tried this in the KC Cup, so there's a lot of Ancient Gears, and that's why I threw both of this in there. And then Divine Wrath, monster negation, really good against just about everything. We're definitely in a monster effect meta, so a really good card. I'm using the Tide That Binds because I built this on Yusei, so I could do the bingo, the bingo missions, and that's really why I'm using that skill. You can use Beatdown, you can use Switcheroo, whatever suits you. I only have 4 replays because I'm a 4-head. I thought I had 5, and I didn't want to erase any of them, so I didn't save the last duel I did, which was good, but I was like, no, I already have 5, and turns out I didn't. I only had the 4. So I'm recording this during my lunch break, by the way, so I hope you guys enjoy it and appreciate it. We're going up against the Blue Eyes deck. I'm gonna just start with offerings and, you know, V-Drake in defense. We're gonna go into Shogun Beret, add a Buster Drake from our deck, and Majesty with Eyes of Blue. So I'm not gonna be able to attack this turn, which is unfortunate, but I still have offerings and I'm feeling good about Canada. Paladin of Felgrand, he didn't seem too threatening right here, so I didn't use any of my cards. And then when he suicided, I figured he did it just to check the back row. And the good thing here is that Beret has 2600 attack, so he's forced to get his Blue Eyes. Normally, you're gonna get the Spirit of White, banish a card, you know, but he was forced to use it on a Blue Eyes. And I let it go. I probably could have used my Canada, but I was like, it's okay. I still have offerings to the Doom. I don't wanna use offerings and then not get a good draw. So I kind of gambled there a little bit, and I pick up a Divine Wrath, which is good because that's gonna be able to stop Cosmo Brain whenever he comes out. So we're gonna see Paladin of Felgrand go into a Wingbeat of Giant Dragon. Return 1 level 5 or higher dragon type monster you control to the hand, and if you do, destroy all spell and trap cards on the field. So I'm really happy that I saved my offerings to the Doom. I'm gonna go ahead and chain it to the Blue Eyes. That way he gets destroyed, he doesn't go back to the hand, and I save my back row. Buster Drake is safe. I made a crucial mistake here by summoning the Buster Drake. I did it because I wanted to use Ties That Binds, have 1700 attack, and be able to crash with Felgrand, but now I don't have anything for Divine Wrath. So if Cosmo Brain comes down, I'm in deep trouble. We still have to go through it because now I'm committed. So we're gonna suicide there, hit him for 17. And I do have the Canada, so it's not like it's over. But this time I'm gonna keep the Canada in hand in order to get rid of the Cosmo Brain. Melody of Awakening, he's gonna get 2 Blue Eyes. And now we're gonna see the Cosmo Brain. He doesn't activate the effect, but luckily for me I have a Canada. And this is perfect because his attack is now 1500. So even though I can't get over it with Armades, he can't get over my Armades either. He has to activate the effect to get a Blue Eyes on the field. And here my Canada was safe to be set because Mach Synchron was gonna get me a Buster Drake back to the hand. Sure enough, he has to tribute himself. We're gonna negate that with Divine Wrath, and we take the win right there. Ties That Binds, can't activate anything. Yeah, so I guess it's, you know, it's kind of a control deck, just a fun take, I guess, on control decks. But Iron Call, when I saw the card, you know, when I first bought the structure decks, we immediately went for Gear Town and Ancient Gear Reactor. But sometimes there's those rare cards that are very, very spicy and we just don't notice at the beginning. I definitely feel like Iron Call is going to be one of those cards, you know, as we get more and better machine monsters. Here we're going up against Grit, Joey Wheeler. I thought this was Quacky Mirror, turns out it's just some sort of control deck. So we're going to set Buster Drake. Have him waste the Juggler's effect and get a Buster Drake to my hand. And see, this is where I kind of didn't understand my deck. Like, I thinned the deck, you know, and now I have 6 out of 9 monsters and everything else is spell and traps, but I have a handful of monsters. Luckily, this one Canada is going to keep me safe. And I'm gonna search. I could have attacked, but I didn't want to attack into a Wall of D or a Mirror Wall and not get my search at the end of the turn, so we just kind of bluffed there. You know, by going into the battle phase, see, we trigger anything and then end the turn to get our strategist to the hand. And look at this. There's 3 monsters in the graveyard and 5 monsters in my hand. So 1 monster left in the deck, everything else spell and traps. Just my RNG, I guess. Void Trap Hole is going to get rid of my Armades, which sucks. But my Gen X Neutron was going to be added to my hand. However, he's using Schoolmeister. Nice tech, but I still have a handful of monsters, so it's not like that hurt me a lot. And he doesn't attack right here. Questionable tactic, but I'll take it. You know, I get to save my Canada, I didn't take any damage, and I pick up a Divine Wrath, which is great. So we're gonna go ties. This time we're gonna try to attack this Schoolmeister. Neutron is gonna get me another Mach Synchron. So now my deck is only spell and traps, which is it's a great position to be in. I know anything I draw, it's gonna be good. He goes into Vision Hero Witch Raider. I don't think so. I'm gonna flip over my Divine Wrath, get that out of here. Save my Neutron with Canadia. And we pick up an Iron Call, so we can go into a second Armades. But they scoop before we do anything. Yeah, so the only reason why I'm running 2 Armades and 1 Goyo Guardian is it? No, it's not Guardian. Is it Guardian? I don't know. Anyway, no, it's Goyo Chaser. Goyo Guardian is the level 6. Yeah. So the reason why I'm running 1 Goyo Chaser is because I literally don't have a third Armades, which really sucks. There were a couple duels where I really needed that third Armades, and unfortunately I don't have it yet. We're going up against Parasite Infestation Weevil. Yeah, so by the way, this deck has me at DLV 17 right now. So I did rank up twice using this deck, which is pretty fun. We're going to go into Armades, get a Buster Drake from the deck, and also add 1 during the end phase. So Armades is really clutch attacking this Man-Eater Bug. Mask of the Accursed, unfortunate, but it doesn't matter. I have an Iron Call, so I can do the exact same play. And look at this Parasite, but we don't care because our Buster Drake is going to shuffle the deck when it adds another one. And we're gonna go for Ties That Binds. Hallucigenia on the Armades, that's fine. Mach Synchron is gonna get my Buster Drake. And during his draw phase, I'm gonna go ahead and flip my Offerings to the Doom because I don't want him to Lava Golem and get rid of both of my Armades because that's all I have. Like I said, if I had a third one, I wouldn't have been as worried. But since there's only 2 in the deck, I really wanted to keep 1, you know, to not have to deal with this back row. So we're gonna flip up the Offerings to the Doom. And this is pretty much him just suiciding, I guess. Ties That Binds. No need to summon a monster and risk, you know, anything. Exile Force, nice try. Meet my Divine Wrath. And that's the game. And I think I have one more replay. Yeah, one more replay against Pegasus. Sorry there's only 4, but you know, they're pretty long, so the video would have been even longer. I'm also gonna stream tonight. We're gonna try to open some packs of the $1 UR sales and see what we can get. That's kind of why I decided to just take my break, record, put this video out right now, and then I'll see you guys tonight while I stream. So we're going first, Divine Wrath and a Buster Drake. And my opponent just goes 2 back row. He's running Mind Scan, so I wasn't sure what this was. It's always safe to go into Armades though, when you don't want to deal with back row. Buster Drake is going to get us another copy of itself. And this is what I love. Like normally, you know, you've used two resources to get an Armades, and now you have to, you know, you have to get rid of your precious hand if you want to use Divine Wrath. But in this deck, we're just replenishing those resources. And we got rid of a Psychic Ace. So I was still not sure what I was going up against until I saw the Rosemary. My opponent's pretty good though. He's gonna play around my Divine Wrath and my Void Trap Hole, as you can see. So I'm gonna have to take this damage, lose my Armades. But I do have Iron Call, so I can go ahead and summon a second one. Thin the deck again, and then we're gonna add that same Buster Drake during the end phase for a second turn in a row. He flips over a Mirror Wall so that I don't attack. At least it's not a second Canadia, that would have sucked more. But he does have Armage Garden, so I can only stop one of those Rosemaries. The other one's effect is going to go through and switch my Armades into defense mode. No way for me to protect him. And this is one of those instances where I really wish I had the third Armades. But luckily I pick up Strategist. So we'll be able to go into Beret. Now this right here is really important. You don't get to see it on the replay, but there was a delay on my attack. So I had a feeling this was a Wall of Disruption, but if he used it, he wasn't gonna save this. So he's saving the Wall of Disruption, which is really smart, especially when he has that big of a life point advantage. But like now I know, now it's in the back of my head that this could be a Wall of Disruption. So because of that, I'm going to switch my Drake into defense mode, and I actually end up playing around the Wall of Disruption and playing around the Windstorm, which was kind of neat. Here we're gonna switch this into attack mode. Even though I knew this was more than likely a Wall of Disruption, I was still gonna try to destroy the RMH, and I also kind of wanted to force it. I didn't want it to just sit there until, you know, I had to summon 3 monsters and then walk into a huge wall of D. So we take that, we do no damage basically, and he picked up a second RMH Jasmine. Luckily there's no Rosemary, so I'm safe. And now I have a Divine Wrath in case we do happen to see a Rosemary. He still can look at my cards though, so he's still playing around the Divine Wrath and the Void Trap Hole, more importantly. And here we're gonna go ahead and play around the Wall of Disruption, because if I have 2 monsters or 1 monster with 0 attack, after I attack this guy, I'm going to lose. So I switch my Shogun, and it pays off because it was a second Wall of Disruption. There's the Hate Trunade. I thought he had Rosemary and I had lost, but instead it's just a Flare Resonator. So he goes into Armades, playing around the Void Trap Hole, very smart. But I knew at this point in my deck I think there was 1 Iron Call, 3 Offerings to the Doom in 6 cards. So my chances of drawing an out to this was pretty high, and I do get the Offerings. We're gonna get rid of that, and I pretty much gain control of the game. Mach Synchron, nice top deck. Too bad I have a Divine Wrath. And all I have to do is summon Buster Drake and win the game. Yeah, so as you can see, it's a really fun deck, but it's definitely not gonna... It's too slow to compete with the likes of Ancient Gear and Quakimeru, which I actually haven't ran into any Quakimeru today at all in the KC Cup, which is strange. But I'm only DLV 17, so maybe they're higher up. But anyway, that's gonna be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this deck. Thank you so much for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you want. Join my Discord if you haven't. The link will be down in the description, along with my PayPal link if you guys want to support my channel, support my content. I really appreciate that. And until next time.